That is a breakthrough performance for Linda Noskova because she's into her first final on grass. She just bulldozed her way past Alexandra Eala.
Eala arrived at the Berlin Open as a wild card, a player many respected but very few believe could become the story of the entire tournament. The draw was filled with Grand Slam champions, top 10 stars, and established names who had spent years proving themselves at the highest level of professional tennis. Eala, meanwhile, was still viewed by many as a talented young player with potential rather than a genuine threat to the elite. She entered the event ranked outside the very top of the sport, carrying hopes, confidence, and a steadily improving grass-court game. But almost nobody predicted that within a few days she would become the most talked-about player in Berlin. What followed was not just a good tournament. It was a statement to the entire tennis world. It was the week Eala transformed from a promising prospect into a player that top stars would have to take seriously every time they stepped onto the court against her. The journey began against Donna Vekic, the reigning Queen's Club champion and one of the most dangerous grass court players on tour. From the very first games, Eala was placed under enormous pressure. Vekic attacked aggressively, earned break opportunities repeatedly, and seemed determined to remind everyone why she had arrived in Berlin carrying a title from the previous week. Yet every time pressure arrived, Eala found answers. Every time Vekic looked ready to take control, Eala responded with courage. The statistics alone told an incredible story. 12 breakpoints faced, 12 breakpoints saved. Again and again she refused to surrender her serve. Again and again she escaped situations that could have completely changed the match. The final game perfectly captured her mentality. Serving for victory, she faced 4 consecutive breakpoints. One mistake could have shifted momentum. One moment of hesitation could have opened the door for Vekic. Instead, Eala played with absolute belief, firing big serves, trusting her ground strokes, and eventually sealing a 7-5, 6-4 victory that immediately attracted attention around the tennis world. For many players, defeating a recent champion would have been the highlight of the tournament. For Eala, it was only the beginning. Waiting in the second round was Elena Rybakina, the world number 2, one of the most feared players in women's tennis, a Wimbledon champion, and a player who had defeated Eala comfortably only weeks earlier. Every prediction favored Rybakina. Every ranking suggested the match would go in one direction. The world number 2 opened exactly as expected, serving powerfully, striking clean winners, and racing to a 4-1 lead in the opening set. The crowd saw the difference in experience and ranking. Analysts watching from around the world expected Rybakina to pull away. Instead, something extraordinary happened. Eala refused to accept the script. Point by point, game by game, she fought her way back into the contest. Her movement became sharper. Her returns became more aggressive. Her confidence grew with every rally. Soon the scoreboard read 4-4. Suddenly the pressure had shifted. It was no longer the young challenger trying to survive. It was the world number 2 trying to stop the momentum of a player who believed she could win. Eala continued attacking, continued defending brilliantly when necessary, and eventually captured the first set 7-5. The second set created one of the defining moments of her career. Leading 4-2, Eala found herself serving for the biggest victory she had ever achieved. Across the net stood one of the best players on earth. The tension was enormous. Then came the ultimate test. She fell behind 0-40. 3 breakpoints. 3 chances for Rybakina to completely change the match. Thousands of players have watched opportunities slip away in moments exactly like this. Eala did not. She saved all 3 breakpoints with fearless tennis. She trusted herself. She trusted the work she had put in throughout her career. She trusted the belief growing inside her. Minutes later, she completed a stunning 7-5, 6-4 victory that sent shockwaves throughout the sport. Commentators called it one of the biggest wins of the season. Fans celebrated it as a historic moment for Philippine tennis. Around the world, people who had barely followed Eala's career suddenly wanted to know more about the young star responsible for one of the year's greatest upsets. Yet the remarkable thing about Berlin was that the story kept getting bigger. The quarterfinal presented another enormous challenge in Elena Svitolina, a former world-class contender known for her incredible fighting spirit, consistency, and ability to battle through the toughest moments against the biggest names in tennis. After stunning the world number 2, Elena Rybakina, many wondered whether Eala could possibly produce another upset against a player with Svitolina's experience. What followed was one of the most impressive performances of her entire Berlin campaign. Eala played with confidence from the very first point, taking the ball early, attacking aggressively, and constantly putting pressure on Svitolina. Whenever the Ukrainian tried to build momentum, Eala had an answer. Her shot-making was fearless, her movement was sharp, and her decision-making was outstanding. The 6-3, 6-4 scoreline reflected her control, but the quality of tennis was even more impressive. By the end of the match, Eala had secured her place in the semifinals and proven that her victory over Rybakina was far from a one-time surprise. She had now defeated 2 of the world's best players in back-to-back matches and become the biggest story of the tournament. Awaiting her in the semifinals was Linda Noskova, the world number 13 and one of the most informed players on the WTA Tour. Noskova entered the match without dropping a single set all week and carried the confidence of someone playing the best grass court tennis of her career. The semifinal was played under difficult conditions after a rain delay slowed the court and changed the rhythm of the match. Noskova adjusted immediately, using her powerful serve, aggressive returns, and relentless ball striking to dominate the opening set 6-2. For the first time all week, Eala looked uncomfortable, struggling to find the timing that had helped her defeat some of the biggest names in the tournament. Yet the fighting spirit that had defined her entire Berlin run appeared once again. She gradually settled into the match, improved her level, and began pushing Noskova backwards. The momentum suddenly shifted as Eala won 3 straight games to move ahead 4-3 in the second set, bringing the crowd to life and creating hope that another remarkable comeback was about to unfold. But just when the match seemed ready to turn, Noskova produced her best tennis of the afternoon. Remaining calm under pressure, she broke back, regained control, and eventually closed out the contest 6-2, 6-4 to reach the final. Although the defeat ended Eala's remarkable Berlin run, it could not take away what she had achieved throughout the week. Arriving as a wild card, she left as one of the biggest stories in tennis after defeating world number 2 Elena Rybakina and world number 8 Elina Svitolina in back-to-back matches. She earned a career-high ranking, valuable ranking points, and the confidence that comes from proving she can compete with the very best players in the world. More importantly, she gained the respect of fans, analysts, and fellow players across the sport. Berlin was more than just a successful tournament for Eala, it was a statement. A statement that she belongs on the biggest stages, that she can challenge elite opponents, and that she is no longer just a rising prospect, but a genuine contender. As Wimbledon approached, the conversation around her had completely changed. The Berlin run may have ended in the semifinals, but the message was clear: Eala had arrived, and her journey was only getting started.